Hello and welcome to Undercommon Taste. This is a podcast where we create and discuss homebrew content for tabletop RPGs.
50 men all lost at sea, all of them drunk except for me. Yo ho ho ho, over the raging seas we go.
I'm Ian Woodworth. I'm joined by my co-host James Daly. And today we are going to be talking about the game Pirate Borg.
Yarr.
I have a game coming up this weekend where I am going to be running Pirate Borg at the library, and I played it for the first time at Gen Con last year, which when the episode releases, the next day is going to be Gen Con 2026 Day 1. So this is releasing on the 29th. That's the day before Gen Con starts.
So congrats to all those at Gen Con. We're insanely jealous. Say hi to all the cosplayers for us.
You know, I don't remember seeing a huge number of cosplayers. There were a bunch of cosplayers, but it wasn't like Dragon Con level cosplay.
Gotcha. Fair.
There are lots of people who are just there to play games and to
Also
buy games. But I mean, there certainly were a bunch of costumes, but it didn't feel like it was as big of a thing for cosplay at Gen Con as it would be at some place like Comic-Con or Dragon Con.
Yeah. I really enjoyed RobCon when we did it too. That was a fun event.
That was, yeah. Go to your local cons, your local small
seriously.
cons. They are incredibly entertaining events.
They absolutely are, yes.
All right, so Pirate Borg. Pirate Borg is an OSR game, an old school. They use old school Renaissance. There are factions within the OSR community as to what the R stands for.
It stands for Yarr.
It's R. It's an OSR game. But some OSR is old school revival, some it's old school Renaissance. There's some people who break it down even further, so where there's an OSR and then there's an NSR, so a new school revival. And so there's a lot going on in that community, and I don't even pretend to understand all of it or even try to keep up with it. But Pirate Borg is a game that came out of the OSR game Morkborg, which is a Swedish death metal OSR game.
So for those that are unfamiliar what an old school revival game would be, what exactly is that?
All right, so OSR games are initially based off of the mechanics from the original D&D. I think red box, white box, black box are the ones. The two big ones initially were white hack and black hack. And I think, don't quote me on this, I think most of the OSR games that are in the market today, if you trace their inspiration lineage back, most of them descended from the black hack.
Okay.
Again, I am not a part of the OSR community. I enjoy the occasional OSR game. I listen to podcasts where OSR people talk about their games. That is about my level of involvement in the community.
Fair.
And so I am trying to remember everything, and I will probably get things wrong. So I'm going to try and quote as few facts as possible to keep myself out of trouble.
So my take on OSR, they tend to be, I don't want to say rules light, but they're definitely not as intensive as something like D&D 3rd edition or 2nd edition. It wasn't quite as muddly or as in-depth.
Yes, they are much lighter in rules than those games.
Yeah, so they tend to be streamlined. They play a little faster.
Yeah, they don't have a lot of crunch to them. For example, the Pirate Borg game, the entirety of the game fits in one hardcover book that has 161 pages. And
with lots of pictures.
And no, the bulk of this book is random tables.
Oh, okay, nice.
Like, most of these pages are D12, D20, D100 tables for different things. Like, I've got one here that's a D12 table of riddles. There's some creatures in the middle. Got a D100 table for backgrounds for character creation. You've got a D12 table of sea shanties, and each sea shanty gives a different party buff. For maritime travel, there's a 2-page spread here that's got D6 tables for wind direction, 2d6 table for changing winds, 2d6 for foul weather, flotsam and jetsam, a d20 table for encounters, a d20 table for events. that is a 2-page spread.
Yeah. So
And so,
again, it's not super intensive. It really is just kind of here's what you're rolling for and here's what you're getting now. Now play with it.
yeah, because original D&D was fairly simple.
Yeah.
The entire premise was you find a dungeon, you go into the dungeon, you kill things, you loot them, you haul your loot out, you sell it to gain experience, and then you go back in.
Right.
OSR games tend to be very fast-paced. They tend to be far more lethal than most other modern games.
Yeah, your characters are going to die.
Your characters probably are going to die because they're going to have weaker powers, lower hit points, and worse defenses.
And there's still a Kraken.
Yes. And the monsters are still big and mean. But yeah, so the Pirate Borg one-shot that I played at Gen Con last year, it was super quick. We sat down, there were 8 of us players at a table. We sat down, we rolled dice, we generated our characters right there at the table, and then we played a 1-hour one-shot.
Okay.
Actually, it ended up being about 40-minute one-shot because we only had 1 hour at the table.
Right.
But yeah, so 8 people sat down at a table, generated characters, and played an actual full combat scenario all in an hour.
That's not bad at all, especially when things are crunched or you're dealing with players that may have a shorter attention span. That's definitely a good way to get people into tabletop gaming or a good way to get a session in if you're just crunched for time.
Yeah. And so I found out after the fact, whenever I went down to the floor to Limithron's table. So, by the way, the game is written by Luke Stratton and Limithron. I think Limithron is the illustrator and I think also the publisher.
Okay.
Yeah. One of the things that this is another tangent, but one of the things that I don't much care for with the Pirate Borg book is that the rules to run the game they don't just have a spot with, okay, here are the core rules that you need to run and play this game. They are kind of scattered a bit, and you have to
read the book.
Well, see, you have to pick up the book, and there's an initial description of the setting of the game, and it goes into factions, and then from factions, then you go into character creation. So character creation is after factions.
Wow.
And it's spread across about 8 pages.
Okay.
And then you go into the classes. Each class gets a 2-page spread. There are 6 classes, and then an optional class, or 2 optional classes. Then you get into weapons, and then just the storytelling, pad out your character, random tables, start from there. So, yeah, the rules to play the game are intertwined with the character generation pages.
Okay.
The character creation pages where you're assigning each attribute and whatnot, they are including gameplay rules in that as you create your character.
I could see how that makes things a little bit more difficult, yeah.
Yeah, I would very much prefer having even just like a cheat sheet. Like
a quick start guide?
Yeah, because Liminal Horror, yes, the actual book is like 50 pages long, but there is a 2-page just quick reference in the back of the book.
Oh, that's a great idea.
It's a rules quick reference, and so you just you're able to look at that and figure out all of the. Oh, actually, now that I say that, and now that I'm looking at the last page of the book,
there it is.
There it is. So, okay, so scratch everything that I just said. I am going to leave it in because sometimes you have to acknowledge your failings as a content creator. And this would be one of those things.
The universe heard Ian and made him his own Mandela effect.
Apparently so. Apparently so. But yeah, so the setting for Pirate Borg is an alternate history of the Caribbean during the age of piracy and the age of sail.
Okay, I'm rolling Johnny Depp.
So I'm just going to read this real quick because while it is across 2 pages, there's not a whole lot of text here. It says, early explorers thought the Caribbean was a paradise. They found nothing but deserted islands and bountiful treasures. It wasn't until thousands had left their crowded, blighted homelands and settled amongst the islands that they encountered the Scourge. It began on the solstice. Haunting screams echoed over sandy beaches, and from the death-black waves crawled the undead. Terror spread like wildfire. At first, they came in single numbers, but hordes gestated, and soon settlements were blotted out by a torrent of lifeless, nameless creatures. Possessed flesh of dead sailors, ghosts of displaced inhabitants, skeletal constructs shrouded in seaweed and muck, and horrible monsters born from the unknowable dark places of the world.
Yay!
They emerged from the sea and consumed all.
Nom nom nom.
The meek had nowhere to flee but their graves, only to rise again at dusk. Survivors fortified cities and bolstered strongholds. Soon after, the effects of ash were discovered. A new status quo was born. And so the next page, before you get into factions even, is ash. So ash is a magical residue. Basically, it is the residue of the magic that animates the dead. So when you slay the undead, you can harvest a certain amount of ash from them. It is used as a currency on the black market, and it also is used as a drug. And it has a d20 table of just the numerous different effects that it had. My character in the one-shot did use some ash, and I rolled a 15, so you can see in the dark everything that has ever lived glows neon colors.
Ooh, nice.
So that was my character by the end of the one-shot.
Trying to think. That's not... No, that's not who I was thinking of. Oh, who's the... He used to be in the Rolling Stones. He's the rocker that lives forever, and he did all the drugs.
Keith Richards?
Yeah, Keith Richards. There, yeah. I was thinking Steve Richards, and that wasn't right. But yeah, I'm going to roll Keith Richards.
Yeah, you're getting him mixed up with Steve Tyler from Aerosmith.
Yeah, which I mean, I could also roll Steve Tyler too. That would probably work.
Yeah. So from the description, as you can probably tell, Pirate Borg is a horror game where you're playing as pirates. And it is explicit in the rules that anytime you are doing anything, unless your characters are explicitly going off on their own, there's always a crew around you. And, you know, in combat, the crew is doing their crew things. They are helping with combat. They are keeping the ship sailing. They're doing all of that. But that's just happening in the background. That's the extras in the background doing their thing to fill the space so that the actors in frame can, you know, tell the story.
Main character energy, baby.
Exactly. But it also, playing into the how quick and easy it is to generate a character, it also provides a reasonable method for you to pull up and play a new character instantly if your character dies.
As will inevitably happen.
Yes.
And then your character can come back from the dead and fight the party next session.
Yeah, pretty much.
I like it.
So I've been talking a lot about how quick and easy it is to generate a character in Pirate Borg, and I figured that the best way to do that would be to just show you. So, James, I am volunteering you to be the guinea pig in this particular situation.
All right.
So we're going to just real quick roll up a Pirate Borg character.
All right. I am running a digital rice dollar, so I do not have clicky clacks. I have clicky clickies today.
A rice dollar?
A rice dollar, yes. I have a digital dice roller. Wow. Yeah. It's been a weekend.
Yeah. Yeah, we're both crispy tonight.
Yeah.
It's great. It's great. So you're going to start off by rolling a d6 and 2 d12s.
I got a 3 on the d6.
So the d6 is the container that you have that determines how much stuff you can carry.
I've got 3 means dirt.
You've got a satchel which can hold 8 items.
Okay. My first d12 is a 1.
Is a 1. You have a lantern with d6 hours of oil.
Okay. Do I roll the d6?
Yeah, you can.
A 1.
So you have a lantern with 1 hour of oil.
There we go. It's going to be a long night, boys and girls.
Yeah. And then your second d12 is going to be for fancy gear.
I've got a 7.
A 7. You've got a blanket and pillow.
Damn straight. See, the lantern has mostly burned out. I'm ready for nappy time. This is about perfect. Do I get a teddy bear or just the blanket and the pillow?
Blanket and pillow is what's
Okay,
on the
fine.
sheet. So
Okay. Yep, I'll go just blanket and pillow. Okay, I'm set. I'm comf. I'm taking my nap.
all right.
Wake me in the morning.
So next up is going to be your ability scores.
Okay.
So I need you to roll 3d6 5 times. First one is for your strength.
I've got a 14.
14, you have a +1 in strength. Next is for agility.
11.
11, you have a +0 in agility.
That sounds about correct.
Yeah. Presence is the next one.
A 9.
A 9, also +0. It's the bottom end of +0.
Well, again, I'm taking a nap.
Next is toughness.
An 8. This is getting better and better.
You have a -1 in toughness.
Again, I'm taking a nap.
Yeah. And then the last one is for spirit.
A 7.
A 7, also a -1.
Damn.
So +1 strength, 0 agility, 0 presence, -1 toughness, -1 spirit.
I am so dead.
So this is the point where you are either going to be a landlubber, which means that you just get the basic stuff. If you are playing as a landlubber to start off, you do get to roll 4d6 and drop the lowest. But otherwise, you are going to be rolling another d6 to determine your class.
Let me go ahead and roll the d6. Let's see what happens. Oh, come on, die. A 5.
Ooh, 5. You are playing as the Zealot.
You know what? With the stats, it makes sense. It kind of makes sense.
For stat adjustments, you get a +2 to your spirit,
Okay.
a -1 to agility, and a -1 to toughness.
Okay. That's going to be rough, but okay.
Your starting HP is going to be a D8 plus your toughness, which is now a -2.
Come on, 2. I rolled an 8.
All right, so you start off with 6 hit points.
That's as good as that was going to get.
All right, so you get a D8 roll on the weapons table.
A 5.
A 5. So you start off with a boarding axe, which is a D6 damage.
Nice.
Works with your +1 strength.
It does.
And then for clothing, you also get a D8.
Another 5.
Another 5. You get an old uniform.
Okay, again, kind of works with the zealot. I could see that. I'm seeing like a ship chaplain type thing, maybe?
Yeah. So you didn't roll high enough to get anything that has like a defense bonus to it. So
Of course not.
then you get a D4 for your Devil's Luck. This is a thing that it's a luck point, so you can use it to like cancel out crits or to deal max damage on any attack. Or see here if I can find the table.
I rolled a
quick.
critical. A big old shiny 1.
All right, so you start off with 1 point of Devil's Luck.
Okay.
And then finally, you get a D10 to determine your prayer, because the Zealot is the cleric parallel. Here.
Got a 5 right in the middle.
A 5, Blessed Guidance.
Okay.
So, Blessed Guidance, thou may add D4 to any roll thee or another player maketh. Use this at any time, including after a roll. Does not taketh thy action.
5 is right out.
All right. And because you are a zealot, you do not get a fancy hat.
Oh.
And this is the point where I probably won't be doing this during the one shot. Actually, I might, because I have like 3 hours. So step 1 is a D100 roll for your background and your starting silver.
43.
43. Okay. 43. First mate.
Yarr.
You get 2d6 times 10 silver and a loyal friend.
I got 8.
So you start
silver.
off with 80 silver.
And a friend.
And a friend.
You got a friend in me. Oh.
And it just so happens that on the page opposite the backgrounds table is the chart that I was looking for with the Devil's Luck. So there are 5 things you can do with Devil's Luck. You may deal max damage with 1 attack. You may lower damage dealt to you by 1d6. You may neutralize a crit or fumble. You may re-roll any 1 die roll. Or you may lower 1 test's difficulty rating by -4.
Ooh, nice. Okay.
And since the DR for these difficulty for the challenges goes from a 6, which is easy, to an 18, which is next to impossible.
Okay.
And the way you do that, you roll a d20 and then you add or subtract the relevant stat modifier to it.
Gotcha. So I mean, taking 18 to a 14 is not bad at all.
Right. Or, taking a 12 to an 8, because
Yeah.
8 to 12 tends to be the sweet spot of where most of the stuff lands.
Right.
All right. Next up is your distinctive flaw, which is a d20.
An 8.
An 8, you are slightly deranged.
This fits. I like it. I've got my blanket, my pillow. Yeah, okay. No, we're good.
Yeah. Next is your physical trademark, which is another d20.
Come on, eye patch. A 12.
A 12, infested with bugs.
Yes! I'm a plague priest.
Okay, next is another d20 for idiosyncrasies.
Oh, this is going to be so good. A 1.
Hey, 1, you smoke constantly and cough even more.
I love it. I wonder what kind of bugs are hanging around with the smoke, though. That's impressive.
Lice.
Yeah, probably. That was the second time I got crabs.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm Rasputin. That's what it is.
This is coming out to be very Rasputin-like, yes.
I love it.
So next, yet another d20 roll for unfortunate incidents and conditions.
Number 4.
Number 4. This tracks. You were marooned on an island for far too long. The voices must be real.
Oh, yes. Oh, my God. This is great. I love this.
And then the last thing on here is a D100 roll for a thing of importance.
81.
81. Dark robe, cape, or cloak.
Perfect. I rolled C Rasputin.
Yeah, you did. And that's it.
Nice.
That's it. We're done.
That's not bad.
Yeah, that took us, I don't know how long it's going to take once we've edited everything down. That took us literally 10 minutes.
Yeah.
In real time.
Yeah.
And now you have a full character. You just have to slap a name on it, which you have, C Rasputin, and and run with it.
I had to get my tambourine. Rah, rah, Rasputin, lover of the Russian. Maybe he's a Russian pirate. I love it. No, I'm rocking this. I love it.
Yeah. So, yes.
That
is the full extent of character creation.
Easy peasy. And
yeah.
The prompts are good, and they're kind of off the wall and quirky enough that you can have a lot of fun with the characters. I love the idiosyncrasies. I love that my special luxury items are a pillow and blanket. That just my 1 hour lamp. No, that's great.
And so on the back of the adventure module that I'm going to be running, so Buried in the Bahamas is their intro adventure that they sell as part of. At least they were selling it as part of a bundle at Gen Con last year. And on the back page, like on the back cover, they have what is called the Recruiter, CREW in the middle, Recruiter, for making your new character when your old character dies. Nope, I was wrong. This is for generating NPC members of your pirate crew, and I will correct myself again a little bit later on. It's literally, you take all 7 of your standard set of D&D dice, your full 7 polyhedral dice, and you roll them all, and each one corresponds with one of these tables. So, starting off, a D4, I rolled a 3. This character is clever, wise, cunning, or talented.
Okay.
For the D10, their motive, what are they in it for? I rolled a 9, adventure or excitement. D8, their history, I rolled a 4, wanderlust or thalassophile. That tracks. I mean, they're doing this for the adventure, so wanderlust is right on brand.
Right.
The D percentile is their archetype. I rolled a 60, which is coward, fool, or liability. Oh boy.
Probably in this case, I think a fool would probably be, maybe they're a little overeager for adventure.
This is little Lord Fauntleroy over here.
Yeah.
So on their appearance, I rolled a 7. So scars embroider their face and body.
Again, that kind of goes with that foolish zeal.
Yeah, they do not learn from their mistakes.
They lead with the face.
they do. Then the next one is the D6 and the D20 correspond for the names. So D6 determines which culture, D20 determines which name in that culture's list. So I rolled a 2, which is Albion, so the British Empire corollary.
Okay.
And then I rolled a 19, so Royal Guns.
Alrighty. That's a quick replacement character.
Yeah.
No, do you have to roll full stats for that replacement character as well?
This might be... That is mostly for like generating members of the crew.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yes, I would have to then go and roll my d6s to get stats if I were to turn them into a PC.
Okay, perfect.
But this is mostly just to, help the game master populate members of the crew if they need to populate a member of the crew.
Okay.
But yeah, that's what it is. And that's one of the things that I really, really like about the Pirate Borg game, aside from the artwork. It's a gorgeous book. All of the various Borg games are wonderfully illustrated. Borg is illustrated by Johan Nohr, and it is just a riot of color. And I think everything in Borg was actually public domain art that he then modified and collaged.
Oh, okay. Nice.
Into the art of the book. And like that whole yellow and pink color scheme that you see in a lot of games or a lot of modules in the OSR community, that is all harkening back to Borg.
Okay.
Borg was the first one to do that sort of big, bold, bright colors.
Is it kind of like an old comic text or something like that?
Kind of.
Okay. I can't quite picture it. I don't think I've seen it, so I'm trying to visualize it. I'll probably look it up here in a bit.
Yeah, definitely go look it up. It is unlike anything else that had come before it. There have been a great many imitators since it came out.
Gotcha.
But yeah, Pirate Borg is a game in that same vein. There is a cyberpunk offshoot of Borg called Cyborg, which I also own. Speaking of RobCon, that's when I got it. I got it at the Wolf Den Games booth at RobCon. I think just like character creation, this episode is just going to be a short episode because I don't really have a whole lot else to talk about here. I mean,
again, we're kind of excited. We're prepping for, that art does look really good. I just pulled up the Borg. I like it. Ooh, nice. Yes. Very nice. Yeah, but no, we're prepping. We're getting ready for our anniversary episode, which we are super excited about. We're also getting ready for Traskmas, which just happens to be about at the same time. Also, it's kind of in the end of summer for both Ian and I, so things are kind of life starting to build back up, and we're getting ready to hit the grindstone. And as I said, sometimes you just need a quick, easy game you can throw together to keep things nice and light, and we will hold this episode in that vein.
Yes, indeed. Like I said, I'm going to be running the Buried in the Bahamas intro adventure for my one-shot. I'm going to see how far into it they can actually get with 3 hours, because the initial combat in this module was the one that we ran in our 1 hour one-shot at Gen Con. Okay. And so that whole combat with 8 players, with each player getting to do something for 2 whole rounds of combat, after character creation and some roleplay stuff before combat started, all of that took an hour.
Okay.
And so I think with a smaller group of people, because I know I have 3 people signed up, there's 5 seats total in the game, I think I can push that along and speed things up and really get into this. I like the layout that they've done. This whole starter adventure is 22 pages.
That's not bad at all.
And the text and everything is just about as dense as it is in the book. And that 22 pages includes like the title page. There's a page for a synopsis, a page of guidance on how to run it. Then you have a 2-page spread for the opening sequence. And then the first island is a 2-page spread. What you do once you build a raft to get off of that island, there's a 1-page spread and then a 1-page, an actual play map that you can put minis on to play what goes on the raft. So like if they get attacked while on the raft, you have a map in here in the module that you can just set this little brochure down, and they can play directly on the page.
Nice.
Then the next 2-page spread is the center spread, and it is a treasure map. It is the treasure map. There's nothing else in here. Next is the map with the 3 islands in this area, along with a random table for 30 things that you can find buried in the Bahamas. So if they go digging for treasure, you have a
treasure table.
It says drip blood or wax from 6 feet above, or drop some dice.
Either one.
Either one. I might actually, because when I was at Gen Con, my daughter picked out and got for me a tube of dice for Dungeon Crawl Classics, which has all of the weird sized dice, and I have a D30 now, so I may actually bring my D30, and if somebody decides to go digging for treasure, I'll let them roll the D30 to determine which one of these comes up. The next is a 2-page spread for an island. The next is a 2-page spread for an island. And then a 2-page spread for the dungeon. And then a list of GM resources. So a place you can go to find additional information, more modules, third-party content, just a great resource page in the back of the book. And that's it. That's the entire starting thing.
No, I like it. It's nice and streamlined. There's enough to play, but not an extra bunch of fluff.
Yeah.
I think it's good.
Yeah, and it's designed to be minimal prep for a GM who has run games before.
Okay. And
I like that. So, yeah, I'm stalling again. So let's just go ahead and wrap up.
Yeah. For the second time.
For the second time. So thank you, everyone, for listening. If you have any comments, suggestions, or ideas, send us an email, undercommontaste@gmail.com, or come join us on our Discord. You can find a link to the Discord through our website, undercommontaste.com. You can also find a link there to our itch store, undercommontaste.itch.io.
Welcome, listeners new and old. If you want to join us as we discuss more game mechanics, more game types, perhaps have discussions with game designers, or go into lore deep dives of our favorite games, just search Under Common Taste on the podcatcher of your choice.
Next week, we are going to probably be going back and talking about Post-Apocalyptia again. I think I mentioned it at the end of last episode. Going to be talking about character advancement, character progression, gaining experience points, spending experience points, and the ways that you can upgrade your character as they go along. I think we are far enough into planning out the games for our anniversary and for our episode 200 that I can at least disclose what games we're going to be playing.
Okay.
I'm not going to disclose who's going to be playing in them because we're still ironing that out, but we've only got 1, maybe 2 players that I have to resolve that for. One of the games we're going to be playing is Pirate Borg.
Yay!
And the other one is a game called Raccoon Sky Pirates.
This is going to be so much fun.
The general premise of Raccoon Sky Pirates is you're a bunch of raccoons that live in a junkyard, and you want to get better junk. So you build an airship so you can fly into the suburbs to harvest better junk.
That's
and all
right.
of the hijinks that ensue.
This is going to be so much fun.
Yeah.
Trash Pandas Unite.
Indeed. And you don't have to play as a raccoon. There are 6 raccoons. There are 6 possums, I think.
Awesome.
And then there is another 6-pack where I think it's 2 rats, 2 pigeons, and 2 cockroaches.
Ooh, ooh.
So yeah, it's a fun little game. I'm excited to learn how to play it and to play it for our anniversary game.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah. So thank you, everyone. Again, stay safe, and we will see you again in 2 weeks.
Happy gaming.
Thanks for joining us for another episode of Under Common Taste. Our theme song is Massacre Ann, written and performed by Mary Kroll and used with permission. You can find Mary online at marykroll.bandcamp.com or on Patreon at patreon.com/Dr. Mary C. Kroll. Our logo is by David Sutherland. You can find more of David's work on deviantart.com/David Sutherland or on instagram.com/Willex_73. We'll be back in 2 weeks, so stay safe, and we'll see you then.